Way better than camper.
Hi, this is Kristen from the future coming at you. By the future, I mean early summer 2024. If you've been looking at the channel, you see that, sorry loud, there hasn't been any activity in quite some time. And really there kind of has been, it's just been hard to get it on video and there hasn't been as much activity as we would like. So, yes, this is early summer 2024. These next couple videos are still, they were shot really close to the other videos. I just hadn't had time to get them up. I got a new job, life got in the way. And so these videos are midsummer 2022. You'll see that they're close to the other ones, but I wanted to show off our fence that we built. We built this before the camper. And so like I had in my first video, we like to show some of the projects we've made just to kind of show people our skill set and what we've done. And yeah, so this next video, so I'm just getting in here, see if it's a little quieter. This next video, we are taking pallet wood off of pallets. We are taking nails out of the pallet wood and we are planing it. And I don't know what we were thinking because we did not get a lot of footage of it, and we didn't do it justice. Taking the pallet boards off the pallets was work. We tried to crowbar them all off first and really just splintered a bunch of wood. So you'll see that we used a saw to really cut off the edges and then just crowbarred off of the middle as needed. And then there's a short clip of James punching out the nails and explaining that, and that took forever. So many boards. I did it for a while. I think I was so frustrated I just didn't want to film it. So just know, yeah, taking the pallet boards off and punching out all those nails was a lot of work, but we love it. And I could give you a sneak peek. Yeah, so we still have some 2022 video footage that I'm going to work on getting up here. And then, yeah, we really didn't touch this at all in 2023. Life got busy, but now it's summer 2024 and we're working on getting it going again. Because we really do want to get this done. And I can give you a sneak peek of where we're at and where these next couple of videos that I'm going to upload is going to take us. And this is now where we're starting from in 2024. So there are these beautiful walls. And in these next series of videos, which will take a little bit, you'll see these walls going up.
Okay, after some time, I cut all the boards off the pallets. So now I'm stuck with a pile that looks like this, where these edges are pretty fresh and will have to be squared off later because I didn't do really straight cuts with my circular saw at all. And then I just have some nails left in the middle where I cut them off. And you can see there, fresh ends of the nail. And so literally to get out the nails now, I'm just using a punch. Just like that. Very hard, won't bend. Pound on it with a hammer. And we're just gonna pound them out. There you go. Most of them fell out. One of them still hanging on, but comes up pretty easy with the pliers or a little pry bar. Take it out and do that about 100 times. Okay, so we've got our big stack of boards that I planed down. And next step for these, now that I've got them all to uniform thickness and cleaned up, we got to take off these edges, because if I try to stack them on the side of the wall like this, layer them up, there's just going to be way too many gaps in between. Typically, quickest way to do this is with a joiner. I don't have a joiner. So what I did do is make a, call it a sled, not a sled, a guide for my table saw. Basically that turns it into a joiner. So your board comes in on this rail, hits the blade, and then the outfeed side is now level with the blade. So it takes off a constant eighth inch. So that way your board has a curve in it. It just gets cut straight across, removes the curve. I'll do that to one side of all these boards, and then when I figure out what my width is going to be, I'll run them through a table saw all at the same width.
All right, we've completed the journey from this. So look at these pieces of wood. Planed. All the edges are cut straight. It's beautiful.
So beautiful.
So what's up next for these beauties, these bad boys?
Well, before these bad boys can go on the wall, we need to finish sanding that down, cleaning up some of our edges, and figuring out what our workspace looks like.
And figuring out how to glue them on. We've kind of run into two snafus, and one is, so we have 3/4 inch plywood and 3/4 inch insulation. But most of you know the problem is 3/4 inch plywood isn't 3/4 inches. So yeah, we have to get the foam flush.
Yep.
So we can fit that. And then the other thing we realized, our mistake is, so the pallet wall is going around the wheel well, not behind it. And so we should have left wood there, but we didn't.
Yeah.
So now we're brainstorming what to put in between the insulation and the back of the wheel well.
Mostly we want something solid because we need to be able to get that watertight. And just having the foam back there isn't ideal. So I have ideas.
So stay tuned to see what we do with that snafu, and realize that we'll bounce back. We'll find a way.
Always.
Always. It will happen.
Because we've come too far.
All right. So James is going to get to rearranging and sanding, and eventually we will get those boards glued on and dyed and fiberglassed sometime.
Yeah. Okay, so today, working on all the pallet boards, trying to get them ready to actually put them on the insulation wall. And one thing we have to do for our build is, because the trailer is angle iron, and we've set it up so that the insulation wall will rest right inside the angle iron, between the angle iron and the box for the floor. Because of that, the pallet boards would basically interfere with the angle iron on the bottom row. So what we're doing to help give us kind of a lip over the angle iron, stop any water from trying to travel up, hopefully seal things up nicely, I'm taking the bottom row pallet boards and using my router to remove some material to make a little slot. So I don't know if you can see, took some off here. So basically, be a little slot between the bottom row pallet boards and the insulation wall. Drop right in over the angle iron, seal it up, stop all the water from getting under there, around there, routing things out, making life hard.
Okay, between last step and this step, we took the time to very much clean out the garage. We reorganized. We got a new setup. James even took the sawhorses outside and got the dust off of them. We got a little helper who helped out with that. That was a little bit of fun. And now I'm excited to finally start laying down our pallet boards and kind of finding a pattern and how they'll all fit. We're still working on also trying to make sure these walls get as level as possible. So James is trying to figure out what we need for the next wall. We need another sawhorse or something.
Short of building a 10-foot table.
Oh, and then our bottom boards are slightly different. They're actually a little bit wider, mainly because we had boards that wide, and they actually fit perfectly between the bottom and the bottom of the door at 4 inches?
4.5.
4.5. Otherwise, all of our other boards, we got down to about 3 inches, because most were around 3.5.
Yeah, I think the smallest one was 3 inches, and so that's how I decided.
Yeah,
that they're all
so
gonna be 3
he
inches.
took most of them down to 3 inches. Then we had a smattering of boards that were just bigger, and we realized that was enough board to do the bottom layer and the top layer, what actually works out best. I'm going to lay out these boards. Mainly have this wall laid out and covered, a few gaps where we might have to cut some weird boards, but as I'm laying out this wall, we're coming up short. I think we'll have to find more pallet boards, which is really a bummer. Yeah. Can you say, we're building a teardrop?
We truly nailed a poopy.
That's not it. Can you say, we're building a teardrop?
I can't say that.
No, okay.
We're building a camper.
Perfect.